Hi, I'm Adam, and today I'm going to tell you about the phases of the moon. So the moon has phases starting with a new moon, going to a full moon, and then back to a new moon. And this all happens over the course of about a month. So for some context, the sun always illuminates half of the moon. We don't always see that half that's illuminated, but always half of the moon is lit up by the sun. From there, it's just a matter of perspective. So in this example, this light here represents the sun, if you didn't guess that already. You represent the earth, and by you I mean the camera perspective here. So earth, sun, and this is the moon. Now let's start with a new moon. During a new moon, you don't actually see the moon because the half of the moon that's illuminated is facing the sun. It's over here. So you can't see it. You only see the dark side of the moon. So there's no moon. Also, it'd be very hard to see because the sun is bright and it's hard to look at it. But it's there, you just don't see it. And then when the moon phase changes, the moon comes around the earth and you start to see a crescent form around here. Now that's a waxing crescent. And I don't know if it's the first phase, but it's one of the phases. So at this point, the moon is still between the earth and the sun, but it's not going to stay that way. So if we continue around, now I'm moving the camera, but it's really just the moon going around the earth. So by now, we're at a first quarter moon, where you can see that about half of it is visible because, well, of course you can see this half. But for the moon, you only see about half of it because the sun's right there and it's illuminating this half of the moon. Now continuing around, this is a waxing gibbous moon. So it's an imperfect simulation, but this part here would still be dark. So you would see almost an oval shape like this, if you've ever seen that. It's not quite a full moon. It's not a full moon, but it's almost a full moon. So that's called a gibbous. You can see it there fairly well. And then a full moon happens here when the moon is on the opposite side of the earth as the sun. So the sun is shining this way past the earth and illuminating this entire half. So for that reason, you see the entire moon because of where the moon is compared to the sun and the earth. And then it does the exact same thing just on the way back. So now it's a waning gibbous. You can see the shades start to appear here. I believe this is called a last half moon. And then this is a waning crescent moon. And then it's back to the new moon. So you might wonder, why is it that every month when this occurs, the moon doesn't block the sun? Well, it's a good question. It's because normally the moon is offset by about 5 degrees from the sun. So it's 5 degrees off of where the sun is, but every few years, like we experienced recently, the moon will actually cover the sun, and that's called a solar eclipse. It's very cool. Well, thank you for watching, and I hope that next time you see the moon, you'll know what phase it's in.